Stop. And I guess we're live. Wicked. Let's make sure we got everything we need. Where's my intro? Let's be pirates. I got everything else except for my intro. Starting animation. Start. The one file you need, just not showing up. Alright. Well, good morning. We're doing a stream to 3 platforms again today. So we're going out to Twitch, YouTube, and TikTok. So welcome our TikTok viewers to the fold. Let's get multi-stream. Okay, there we go. Projector, output projector. Let's give you guys a little bit of time to get in here. I think we're good. Good morning. Hey, Kaboom, what's happening? Guess what we're doing this morning? We are building the SuperNova Star Destroyer. And I call it that because this entire thing is based around these pieces, because the supernova pieces, they make it super easy to get a turn off of this. And almost anyone can now go ahead and create their own Star Destroyer. In fact, it makes it a lot easier to create a lot more Star Wars builds. Hey, good morning. I don't know how to pronounce that, but good morning. Good morning, Ann Kitty. Hey, Dirty Draws, what's up? Good to see you guys. All right, so I'm going to let a few more come in before I let you guys know about my ridiculous gaffe yesterday. And it's just one of those pieces that we're sitting on. But I've been taking a look at some of the pieces again, and there's some properties that were not existing before that actually bear a little bit of looking into. Like this one, for instance. This one is a wedge shape, and it's a brand new piece that I was looking at. And one of the first things that I tried to do, because this is just one of the things that I do, is that I tried to get an angle off of this piece, but we were never able to. It never used to be able to do that. Now it's actually treating it as an actual shape. But the best part of this is that we can now. Oh, it wasn't doing this before. Yesterday it was different. Yesterday it allowed me to pull an angle off of this. Maybe they patched it. I can't even get an angle right now. What the heck? Man, I tell you, things change in this game overnight. Okay, here we go. Nope, we do not go. There. But we never used to be able to do this. To get an angle off of the flat angled piece of this. So this is what is now going to allow us to get the sides, because the properties have changed, which makes me now think immediately, what else has changed? We never used to be able to do that either, I think. I don't know. Let's see if anything else has changed. We're aiming at the back of this. What about to the top? If we take 2 of these and stack them, can I transfer? Nope. Can't do it because this is a 45-degree angle, and they definitely do not allow that. But it just goes to show you that you should really take a look at some of those old pieces every now and again, pull them back out of the toy bin, and just double check. I know this one was having a lot of trouble. Had to find several workarounds for this one. Oh, this one is still giving trouble. Getting an angle off of the face of this was a little difficult. So I actually had to come up with a different method to get the angle consistently. But this one is still giving trouble. Okay, good to know. So, good morning. Oh, I did mean to start this a little different. Oh, good. Well, at least they're making changes in Expedition. I kind of went ahead and I ahead of you guys. I'll show you how to do this properly, but I wanted to at least test it out, and I ended up having to make a mini TIE fighter just to do this one thing. So yeah, mini TIE fighter. So good morning, people. Let's go take a look at our Star Destroyer, shall we? This is actually built to scale to the crashed TIE fighters in the game. So I was wondering about the size, making a size of a mini, and just how big it would have to be. And it turned out it was right there, right in front of our eyes, all along. But I wanted to get an idea of the scale. Doesn't like the angle. That's okay. It's not even resting on the floor. That's how these hitboxes work. Really crazy, right? Oh, okay, good. Well, at least they've taken some steps with Expedition. I'm gonna have to go back into that later this evening and see about that. But if anyone is interested, I will put out the plans for this very, very mini, very, very basic TIE fighter. I mean, it literally took me like 12 minutes to build. It is very cute. And is definitely not as intense as the full-size one. So, let's get back to our main build here. So we have our hangar bay that we're going to look at today. The back of the ship, with our thrusters back here, and how we're going to get this alignment. But the most important part before we go on, and I hope anybody who's following along has gone ahead and filled out their sides, because now we're going to actually fill in the side piece, and it's all about using that one wedge piece I was showing you just now. The wedge excellent. Well, you know what? They're very receptive, especially in the early parts of the games. So really glad to see that Epic is responding. They're just unfortunately just some things they can't fix. So I don't know why I completely stepped on this yesterday. It just went on my brain because I don't use this piece very often. But this piece matches exactly with this. So that's the angle right there. You don't have to really to think about it too much. It's just once you have that aligned from the front, then your wall is going to be parallel all the way through. So we have all the pieces that we need. This is absolutely gonna be absolutely brilliant. Haskins, you missed the launch and the landing. I fell out of the hangar bay. Ah! Oops. There we go. Anyway, we're not doing TIE fighters today, so I'm gonna go park this somewhere else, which is my main intention anyway. I wasn't planning it on actually landing, you know. So let's leave that over there. Oh my god, look at that thing out coming out of the mist. So who's ready to continue with this epic supernova Star Destroyer? I hope we can get to at least the bridge today. We may have to spend a little bit of time on the hangar. I'm sure you guys had to do that, but right now the important thing here is go to sleep. Is the side pieces. Once I show you one side, you should be able to see, you know how to do the next side. So we can get into that. We are streaming on TikTok, Twitch, and YouTube today. So please let me know that everything is going smoothly. Everything is funky. For anyone new, I am the Mad Puck 66, and I stream every day from 8:30 a.m. till 10 a.m. Always live builds in Lego Fortnite. Now, the important thing here is that this flat piece is our starting point. Everybody has this flat piece on the inside. What we're going to do is take a 2x16 and put it flush in the middle. And how many steps up do we go? We're gonna get straight into the instruction right now. Let's not mess around, shall we? So we go 8. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, that's 7. Okay, well, there you go. That's 7 up. This is Lego Fortnite, so you can go into Fortnite and load into Lego Fortnite, and play several of the game modes there. This is a question from TikTok. We got our wedge in here now, and our wedge needs to come to be aligned to the flat piece. So the top of it will go here, so you can actually move it over. So if you line it up, it's a little tricky sometimes because of that piece right inside. Now, which direction are we going? Once you get to a certain point over here, it should snap in. Is this the correct piece? There's 2 wedges. And I might be using the wrong one. So, one wedge goes one way, the other goes the other way. I think this is the wedge right here. So this should come right out and go green. Then once it goes red again, you gotta take a step back. And that should be the proper placement. That's the placement over on this side. And it matches up to the top and the bottom. So this is the perfect position for this because it is now also welded to the sides. It is that perfect angle where it just all matches up. So once you have this, the pressure plate is next. You place your pressure plate. Oh, hold on. We may have a bit of a problem here because this piece is now upside down. It doesn't like upside down pieces. So we're gonna, I think we're going to have to, let me see if we can match this up from this side. Will this one work? See if we can do it from this side instead. That's the wedge, wrong side of the wedge. So let's try this one. Nope. There we go. This one will do. Another object in the way. Okay, we're almost there. Is there anything that's stopping me? Okay, I'm not sure about how this one affects everything else. Let me make sure that nothing is going to fall apart. So I'm going to join the sides to the join the sides together. Got an angle going on. That's not going to like it. There are certain pieces which just don't like each other. And one of the things that the game hates is when you have to turn any pieces and you use a wedge piece. You have to use the machine lock. Okay, I think that should be glued to the side. And I should, you know what, all I have to do is really connect this piece to that. So when I do that, let's make sure, shall we? I'm just like, I just want to be like super secure right now and not guessing too much. I'm already making a huge guess at this point, but let's make sure that at least one piece is going to not cause this entire middle part to fall out. That would be a disaster. Unmitigated disaster. So, redundancy is key. That is never gonna fit, is it? Okay, buddy boy. What about you? There we go. That will work. Now I can break this piece. Man, that gives me the heebie-jeebies. Because that was my main supporting piece from the very beginning. Alright, take that out. Whew. Okay, nothing is falling apart. Everything is good. Everything is grand. Okay, back to the wedge. Back to the wedge again. And it will work. It will work. Perfect. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to put this right there. I don't think this is actually connected, is it? No, it's not connected. But we can fix that with this. This is only temporary in any case. So there, we go one. Then we can take that off. And we can set our wedge. I said we can set our wedge. Come on, you. Where's our connecting point? Man, why does it have so much trouble? Alright. All of that just to place one piece. Welcome to Lego life. Lego Fortnite life. Remember, on an upside down piece, it is pretty much going to tell you, no, forget about it, go home. This is not the castle you're looking for. This is not your princess. Go somewhere else. You can either listen to that or you can find a solution. I mean, after all, I ain't looking for no princess. And here we go. Boom. Remember, they've buffed the balloons and the pressure plates. I don't know how long that's going to be in place for, but it's in place. It's happening. So we kind of live with it and try to work with it. All right, so there we go. Now we have our side piece that we can take all the way down. Now, one of the things that we're going to be watching for as we take this back is how some of the pieces is, if you put it just plain, it's going to be a little problematic. So sometimes, no, it's not letting me do that. Why isn't it letting me do that? I was going to introduce a little bit of variation by putting some of the pieces in the back just a little further back. But right now it does not want to let me do that. Weird. Let me see if we can do it without that. Can I do that? As a matter of fact, I cannot. I think we have too many turns going on and it doesn't like it. Go figure. Alright, anyway. If you just keep it simple and just take it all the way back. I know I have holes in the sides here. I haven't filled up those holes. My bad. Alright, so as you can see, that was a little bit of a dip right there, which makes me a little concerned. And let me see about filling in this bit so that we make sure that it's not sticking out the side of it. Kind of one of the reasons you want to have all your homework done, and that there's no pieces left. Alright, so that's not crossing over, so that's good. So like I said, anybody who's following along with me, you should have all of your sides done. Top plate and bottom plate. Makes this so much easier. You don't have to second guess yourself when it comes to putting these pieces in. Like I am now. I mean, I know where everything goes, but sometimes the game will play with you. Yes, I'm building in the dark again. Thank you for the follow. LA68538. Gotta wonder, is that a person or a bot? I'm sorry, I don't mean to be rude or anything, but the name. I mean, how do you say that? Or is this like TikTok makes up random usernames that you then go ahead and change? I haven't spent as much time on TikTok, except just watching random videos. Alright, so it will take on the top. So that is a plus. but will it take on the bottom? It sounds weird. All right, so it takes on the back. Nice. Okay, so now we can do this. So variation, add a couple of dips. I really should go to sleep, shouldn't I? Sleep till morning. We got a fair ways to go, but you know what? A little bit of variation always helps. In fact, we're going to go 2 variated here. Best thing though is that you can just lay everything down and then come back and sort that out later. But at the end of this, you're gonna have a nice channel running all the way through, from the front of the ship to the back of the ship, and completely parallel, which is one of the things that we have been unable to achieve. Well, one of the things we had been unable to achieve until the combination of these factors. We have 2 kits that make one experience so much better. Hey, hey, oh my God, I need to change my glasses. Mr. Jalapep. Hey, Adam Kilby, welcome. Okay. Oh, wait, which Dave Scare? What's happening? Man, you guys are popping in. Okay, so I'm actually seeing some of the chat over here. Am I seeing the TikTok? Oh my God, it's showing TikTok here too. Perfect. I did not know we could see TikTok chat over in this one place. So that's actually really really cool. Multi-stream works. They must have done something new. But anyway, let's go have a look over here. So this is you can, once you have that all set up, you can come and mess around with the front a little bit. I started it and I was going to continue, but I think it's something that we need to work on together. So this is when I had thought that the 12s weren't working anymore, but it was just a matter of just adjustment. So I'm gonna have to come back and replace all of these guys here, but there's some really cool pieces on the 8s that you can go and slap on to 12 anywhere, just for a little bit of variation. But be careful at this point, because we do want to make sure that we are keeping pieces kind of in our back pocket for because we do have to build the tower. We are currently on this one. I made this bigger, so yeah. This one I actually made it 106 meters long. Do not, under any circumstances, make yours 106 meters long. I cannot guarantee that you're going to finish it. And the biggest difference that I can show you right now between the 100 106 and 75 meters is that the thrusters on here look a lot smaller than on the other ship. These don't get very much bigger. This is like the size. This is the biggest circle we have in the game. Does not get any bigger than this. So, if you want to ensure that you're going to be using as few pieces as possible, and okay, oh, this is from the Lockheed's Lighthouse, but I believe what's the other kit that has this? Is it Raven? If you have Raven's Roost, you have the same thing but in gray. So yours will look a little bit different. Just depends on what kit you have. So now we're going to move from the side to the back. And we're going to first take a look at what I did over here because I forgot. Oh, we're going to end it by going back to the wedge. So the wedge will be our formation in the back here. And it should align properly with the upright. Yep, with uprights on this. So I should be able to take 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, and 2 above, and apply the wedge. So almost perfect. And it feels good to actually have a good starting point and a good end point. Not gonna lie. Once you have that, then it means you're cemented on both sides. You have a firm foundation. And your guide can take you where you need to be. So let's get this in 1 and then 2. And now let's get that wedge. Is that you? That is you, sir. Get your butt in there. Come on. Yes. There we go. Dang. Wow. Okay, so this, it feels like it's 1 over. I'm gonna take another look over here. Oh. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Let's call it fine. Let's call it good. We're good. Because now we have to do a little bit of finagling here. All these different pieces coming together all once. Okay. So that was actually at the end of it. But we may have had a little bit of shaping going on. Alright. Let's call it even. This is best. This is one of the reasons why it's best to do this kind of thing pretty much immediately. When you're working on one side, do the other side. So here is where we can go back to our, what is it again? Friendly neighborhood? Not friendly neighborhood, sorry. First order. First order, grab your little wedge there. Angle piece. This one is supposed to be upside down. And it does not like that. So we're going to have to flip it. Best thing to do, flip it, is just to bring it in, break that off, put down your pressure plate, and flip it again. And there, we're going to have pieces finally going in the correct direction. Perfection. And the best thing about this one is that you can take it. You see how it's glued to the side? That is one of the other advantages of bringing your wall all the way back. So you have a firm base all the way around, and it's not dependent on one particular thing. Kind of like this. We're gonna cheat this a little bit. Oh yeah. There, he's been cheated. Let me put it this way, nobody's gonna know the difference. I would love perfection, but sometimes perfection is not an option. So, get off your high horse. I know some of you are saying that your ADD is kicking in. Get over it. Your what is it? People make this claim for um, what do they say? What is it they say? Oh, there we go. This is one that's good. OCD. The OCD is kicking in. Ah, son of a biscuit eater. Seriously? You can do this to me. Alright. I see how it is. So this one likes that one. And we can come and find this and pop it in. Oh my god, this space is a gap. There's a gap. Alright. Well, gaps are easy to fill. So I'm not going to worry about that. Well, not too much. I wish it was like a two-space gap that would allow me to put another pole in there, but it is what it is. When I said easy to fill, you can just simply take one of these if it's too much for you, and pop that in there. But remember, this takes up more memory, etc. So if you end up doing something like this to fill your gap, remember those 4 pieces that you have to use for this. Might be more useful somewhere else. So there, gap is filled. Now, what I did... Sorry, my wife is texting me. What I did was I came to the center and I placed down one of these walls. So you got to find your center. You got to know where your center point is. Right here. Now I placed this one wall right in the middle. Top and bottom. You kept this the same all the way through. And I just flipped the wall so it's upside down. It's this, what wall is it? Angled wall. This one, because there's nothing in the back of it, it's a full slant. So there's more room to work with. So first order wall tilt 0.6. Now, oh, hold on. When working with this, because of the slant that we were looking at, we had to do a step back. So, from the very center, the center is 1, and then we're going to take a step out of 1 every wall piece. So we're coming away from the center. Now, anybody who's planned properly would have gone ahead and made sure that, you know, your pieces would line up. So it's going to be a little bit of a gap in here. So we're going to have to go another wall piece. See. Oh boy. I don't know if that's going to work. Son of a... Come on, stop that. It's supposed to be at work. Oh. Shiva got her personal fan. Alright, I think we got a space issue here. Yeah, we have a space issue, that's for sure. I think we're going to have to bring that side out all the way. So let me make sure that this can be done. And that there's actual space for it. So I may have to revisit some of my, oh boy. Yeah, that little space at the side was needed. So actually we need to come out some more. So I gotta find a way to align this thing properly on the back. So this side is gonna be dependent on coming off of here. So just remember that one. Because I biffed it. My fault. My measurements were right. I should have gone with the measurements. So let's see. Back to the wedge. Back to the wedge again. Oop, there goes rabbit. Ba-dum-da-dum-dum. I don't always get it right, and when I get it wrong, I get it real wrong. Alright, we're going to fill this in. Make sure that we're taking into account all the spaces that we should be taking into account. 1, 2, 3. So give me 1 second. I should have done all of my homework. Instead, I was over there playing around with a mini TIE fighter. And I gotta say, that was remarkably easy to build. But it helps that I have built several TIE fighters, so I kind of know the structure of it. And I just wanted it to be able to fit the same size as the as one of the same scale as one of the crash ships. So that was a little bit of a misadventure. Alright, let's see what we can do here. Gosh dang it! Stop being night. Does it stand? Oh, how's the sound, by the way? Hey, Mr. Lollipop again. Hey, Mukpish. Welcome back. Baked and Bad 82. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Alright, let's continue, shall we? Now, yes, we are coming back to this, and we are going to try to find our wedge. Now, where do we need to come in here? I think if we come out from here and bring this out properly, then we should be able to find the right... There we go. That's the right spacing. Right there. Oh, right. I'm trying to get it back to the point. So, back. That may actually take care of that one gap space that we had. Because that one gap was never there before. Little anomalies like that you gotta pay attention to. They can they can point to problems that you didn't know you had. So, that's where our wedge is going to be. Oh, that's going to be fun. All right, let's see if we can find it, shall we? So we got to bring it out. Oh, we went flat on that piece. Not a problem, not a problem. Okay, so that is where that comes in. Yeah. First Order. This is kind of like a voyage of discovery with this particular set, trying to find the right pieces to match up. So, you know, not everything is straightforward. Sometimes you just got to find your way there. And I think the spacing on this is one of the main issues, because you got to find the right spot for everything to work. So I think the wedge should be able to go in properly once we've got everything. No, come on. Seriously, dude? It's like sometimes it can be off just by a little bit. There's that one stud gap again. Is it too far back? Let me see where this begins. Because if this begins at the edge, it can change everything. So, we go right to the edge of that angle. Alright, let's do that. See, we're one back. That can make a huge difference. Seriously, you can do that to me. can be that painful. Alright, let's see how it is. Today is a day that I endure, apparently. And I endure a lot. Alright. So we have that. Excuse me. Oh my gosh. I'm choking on my own spit. Ah, blah. Okay, so one in. One in. Where we begin. It's not happening, huh? Just wow, man. This is just determined to not let me have my other piece. The thing is, the alignment is so tricky. Alright, let's see if we can get our wedge in here now. Come on, come on. Down just a little bit. Goes on. Okay, what are we dealing with here? Really? How tall are you? Okay, wedge. Meet floor. This worked before. You know what? I am about to give up. This is ridiculous. Let me try one more time. Come on. We got a more ship to build. This one wedge is taking up so much time. You are not my friend today, Mr. Wedge. Nope. Not my friend at all. Let's see. You know what? If I can replace... Here's what I'm going to try to do. I am going to pull this off of here. It's nighttime again. Have I just wasted 20 minutes? 9:24. Okay. So, hey, look at that. It matches up, just like on the other side. So I think we may have, yeah, I think we did. I may have gone singles to match it on that side, and I didn't take that into consideration. So my very, very bad. Yep, it was. There we go. We're short. We are short. It's like one short, which is really odd. How the heck do we go one short? Truth of the matter is that we don't. Anyway, let's sleep till morning, and let's continue with the rest of the back of this, because we got the engine to build. Bed, sleep till morning. Let's go. Remember, with every frustration, you learn something. But the most important thing I think that we can take away from all of this is to check your measurements and make sure you're going off of the same thing from both sides. Build both sides at the same time. You cannot beat that, because you can at least compare notes while it happens, not after the fact. All right, and now we have to do the same thing to the top. So come out 1, 2, 3, 4. The hardest part for this is that we're going to be we have to go in here and see. It's off by 1. It's off by 1. Son of a biscuit eater. How can you be off by 1? Where? Show me. Oh no. Oh. It's the slant. One of these guys is off. Can't even see where it is. Oh my god. That should be perfect right there. Now I'm going to have to take this and I'm going to have to come down just by a smidge just to get it in there. So, is it okay back here? No, it's not even okay back there, because it's right about that slant. There. So now this one is slightly lower, but you know, we kind of fudge that. So a couple things you can do. Either try to break that entire thing, or you can move the back wall. Back wall is a little bit more malleable, but now we see why we were losing some of the angle. This angle, for some reason, was just a touch bit lower. And if you can find where that, see, there it is. It's a touch bit lower. It does not fully line up. This back here, this split in the middle, is lower. But if you can find where that occurs, good luck. So I think this is like really important to make sure that on the top piece and the side, on the pieces that you're turning, to make sure that your angle is always on the same plane. So you're pulling from the same place on both sides, so that it maintains that angle all the way through. That may have been my complete error there. And unless I actually pull off the tops of both of these and redo them completely, I have no idea where that occurred. So I'm going to have to keep this angle because otherwise I have to redo both sides. I can live with it. I can adapt, but it's very important that when you turn it, that if you're two spaces down on one side, you need to be two spaces down on the opposite side, and it has to be the same piece you're pulling that angle off of. Otherwise, you will have something like this occurring. So, with that, we continue. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let's get 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Son of a biscuit eater. Can't get 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nope, can't get 5. One. Can't get 2. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to cheat a little bit. And at least make sure it's symmetrical. Because the symmetry is going to be more important. Geez, at least the bottom is perfect. Yep, bottom is perfect. I mean, look at that. Perfect angle. No wishy-washy over there. Just the top piece. It makes me really want to go and redo that entire thing. Okay. Get over yourself. Get over yourself. It's just a couple of it's a major miscalculation. But this is like on when you're looking at like contractors doing rocket parts. A millimeter being off by 1 millimeter can mean so much. So let's see where we are with this. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then on 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Then on 5. There we go. All right, and let's get SuperNova. Not SuperNova, sorry. Lockheed's Lighthouse for maximum contrast. Let's see if we can get proper balance there. Shall we? One, two. off by a little bit. This is the magic of circles, by the way. That um, extra space that it has that negative space can become useful sometimes. Where the whole thing just hangs there like magic. Then we get the floor sections back to Lockie's lighthouse. I don't know if Raven has these pieces. I really hope they do, but I can only build with what I have. And these pieces make it a little bit easier to go ahead and have this whole thing already built out. Because believe me, otherwise, I really would be spending a lot of time building a circle out of individual pieces. I put down 4 pieces, and it's done. And it's remarkable because that's additional space that I can use. So let's have a look here. Hey, El Papu V. There, see, we have the back of our Star Destroyer coming in. Now, there's a lot of detail that we're gonna have to do to get all the angles and everything set. You can either go ahead and leave it open. It's up to you. Me, I like to have all those empty spaces filled. So we're gonna pop some of these lights in here right now. You're probably wondering why I'm not putting thrusters in, because these thrusters really don't matter so much. There's currently this feature. Pixie Lee shared it, and I forget the name of the original guy who came up with it, or rather discovered it. But there's a bit of it's almost an exploit of just how some of the pieces work. The what should we call it? The wheels, yes. Wheels and have this friction component right now that is acting really strange when it's pushed against wall pieces, pretty much any piece that's in its way, but especially machine blocks, and it pushes everything away from it. And it causes kind of a fast travel effect, where your ship is now moving at 4 times the speed than it normally does. I tried it on the boat, tried it on the Kylo Ren's X-Wing. That was a really good experiment. Almost broke it into pieces, but I did fly across the map very successfully. Made a couple of adjustments here and there, and even got it to take a bit of a flight upward. So there's a lot of potential in that particular motor, especially if we can if they don't take it away. There's talk that Epic will be taking it away because it's not supposed to function like that. But it will now take the entirety of what we can do here, and it can move a Star Destroyer. So I'm hoping to get to that point before they nerf it. Hey Diego, the yeah, this now is a good time. The pieces are all right there. We got the wedges and everything. So like the we got the wedge piece that aligns perfectly with with the the angled pieces for the roof. Now is the best time to do it. If you go take a look back at the earlier the yesterday's stream, these pieces they allow us to get the angle perfectly every single time. So I don't know if you can use that, but these angles are absolutely beautiful. The supernova pieces allow us to do a lot of really cool work for Star Wars. Nice. Well, I would love to see what you come up with. Anybody who doesn't know, Diego Martinez is an excellent builder. He's got a lot of really cool, detailed stuff. I really appreciate all the work he's doing out there right now. So go and check him out whenever you get a chance. I don't know if he has a YouTube. Do you have a YouTube? Because I've seen you mostly on TikTok. Ah, son of a, come on. Be nicer to me. You know what? I'll take it. I will take it. I'm not gonna, want to argue it. I'm just gonna take that right there. I'm not gonna fight it. Close enough. It's gonna have to be good enough. Ah! Come on, up, the other way. There we go. So close to perfection. All right. My best advice is to go ahead and start it. Seriously, just go ahead and get started. But yet you kind of have to have an idea of what you want to accomplish with the channel first. Is it going to be videos? Is it going to be streaming? It's all depends on what you really want to get out of it. So once you have that sorted out, you will be in a much better position than a lot of us. Because some of us are just flailing along. Let me see if I can actually match this up. We're just flailing along, trying to do the next best thing. Oh, hello. That works right there. Oh, okay. We're close. We're so close there. I like that. But do I like it enough? I need to pull that back. Excuse me one sec. I see a potential here for getting this lined up properly. Okay. I think one more. My hope is that if I get one lined up fully, that the rest of them will kind of fall in line. So let me experiment a little bit here. Let me cook. Let me cook. Yeah, but anyway, the whole thing about the YouTube channel is really just about knowing what you want out of it. Because a lot of people do get into YouTube and they really don't know their end goal. Are they going to be putting in like regular videos? Are they going to be doing um, streams? Because if you're doing streams, it's a different mindset and a different need. Like me, I build every day, so for me, streaming is it was a more important aspect. Like I actually got into streaming through Twitch, and that kind of defined my need. I knew what I wanted. All right, so we're gonna have to go a little bit extra here, and add a piece on the top and bottom in order for this to work properly. So a little bit extra. All right, I think that was a perfect point to begin. Yeah, awesome. That lines up nicely. Okay, that's gonna pop out one. So let's get this in here. Like I said, a couple extra pieces, but worth it. By the way, Diego, you should do very well on YouTube. There's a great crowd there. And you can just come in and just start getting those numbers. You already have a following over on Twitch that you can encourage to follow you to YouTube as well. YouTube, not YouTube, on TikTok. So you should do quite well. I think this one needs a little further back. It's a little too close. All right, there we go. That's better. See, so we can get some really good detail and fill in some of those spots. It's just a matter of working at it. A little bit extra. Doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to work. Perfection can come later. Ooh, okay. Let's see if we can get back to this now. I like these wall pieces because you can use them kind of like a moving slide sometimes. Where is this aligning to? You... Do I need to align you? That's the main question for me. Huh. So a little bit off, but that gap, doable. Heck with it. Like I said, doesn't have to be perfect. It is 9:59. I have 10 minutes left to go before I have to run off to work. So I want to thank everybody for joining me today. Today is... What is today? It's Tuesday. So I don't know if Kaboom is streaming after me. Who else is streaming? But I know there's a lot going on right now. People are out there playing in expeditions, but you now have a lot more knowledge about how to build a lot of the back of the ship. I've shown you how to do the thruster, the back of the walls. You can come in and fill in the rest of this. So homework time, people. If you're following along, go in and fill the rest of this, just like I've just shown you. If you want to get it more flush, like I probably will, just remember to use to try to get your alignment tools properly set. For me, for alignment, I always use the machine blocks, which gives us precision measurements. So this will always align to the top of this, which means that oh, hold on, that's upside down. Ah, son of a me. Okay, let me try that again. So that is right on top there. This is here. So this should now align to the top of that. So if you want to get your pieces all matched up, you now have the tool to go ahead and do that, because this is now flush with that. Of course, we can't get behind there. Son of a... Let's pull it out just a little bit more. But, you know, my whole point is that you can get rid of that entire line there by going ahead and aligning this so that the top of this is going to start with the bottom of it, and it'll be a lot smoother to work with. Same thing for each section. So you want to get your alignment set, that's one way to do it. I will come back and take care of that on my side. Now the rest of it, you have your wedges in shape. So you know how your wedges go, you know how they align. You can do not spend too much time on the sides. Just put them in until you can finish up the rest of the ship. Otherwise, you're going to end up decorating and doing way too much, and you're probably going to hit complexity a lot faster. Now, one of the things that is an advantage of a ship being this big is that you have 2 complexity zones to deal with. 2 complexity. Oh, Diego, the angle glitch works perfectly on the SuperNova pieces. I'm going to show you that in 1 second. Oh my god, I forgot what I was saying. Oh, okay. Anyway, I guess I'll show that now. The SuperNova pieces give you the roof pieces in particular work consistently, and so this is 1, and this is 2, and then the underside piece that also works consistently. But one of the biggest things you have to watch for right now is if you're doing something big like the Star Destroyer, you have to begin at the same point on both sides. So there you go. These will always work, and you don't have to find a transfer piece. You take this, slap it on to there, and it goes green. This works for both of them. So you have your immediate transfer. The other piece that we're looking at is the wedge piece. This is from the First Order. Now, this never used to work before, but you can now slap a pressure plate to the front of it, and transferring from the front, not the back. The back doesn't work because the back is dealing with the wedge. You have to actually get up on top, so it's never going to stick there. But you can take it over, and I think, nope, placement is all around. So when the front is the best way to go to slap that on. These are the upgraded pieces right now, and then you have the wall piece from SuperNova Academy. This one also works very well to get the angle. You can turn that, or you can get an underside angle from that as well. But it's consistent, and it's not been nerfed to anything. And it works immediately to transfer your pieces, so you can get your angles. Boom, done. Really, really cool. But this is what I was talking about. This I'm sorry. This wedge shape was one of the reasons why I was talking about this piece. So, um, I'm gushing over this piece because the roof pieces and the wedge piece match up, and they are absolutely parallel. So, you can use those. Where's it? Oh, there's my ship. You can use those in parallel to get your trench. And it's a nice parallel trench all the way back. I added in a couple variations here and there, so that's my bad. But there you go. Um, this is why I'm saying that the Supernova pieces have made building the Star Wars ships so much better. You have to do a little bit of turning here and there, but it works. For the hangar, by the way, in case anybody wants to come in and mess around with this, I did use the. Oh, okay. So here's what I did. I brought the um, the middle piece that comes all the way back. I made a frame of that around the area of the hangar. So I stopped it going all the way back, or rather, I kind of built around it and then I joined it up so that I didn't have to break it off. But there's a whole frame around it, so it still continues to the back of the ship because you need that for your engines. But once I had that, then I was able to set like walls and bring it and find a floor for the rest of the ship. So first order wall. See, there you go. And bring this down. You find a floor for where you want to start, where you want to actually have your ships land. And remember, the top part is going to be closer than the back part. So you have to find the floor here, and then take out, I think, at least 6 pieces. Let me see how many pieces I had to use. Durburger, where are you? So just take out 6 pieces to give you space for your hangar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I took out 7. I took out 7 because my ship is bigger. If you take out 7 pieces out of your smaller 75 meter ship, notice how big this hangar is. So it may take a more significant chunk. So just go and look at what you have and try to balance it out to where you're gonna have it. Because I knew that I could get my TIE fighter in there, but I had to go and build a smaller TIE fighter, a mini TIE fighter, just to be able to fly it in. And once you get in here, you can design to your heart's content. But just remember that once you have the floor, you can build down to the bottom as far as you can get and use your wedges. These are the wall pieces from the kit. These guys are natively placed in here and it works perfectly. So you can, you know, you go to town on this. In fact, you can go ahead and add some lights and stuff. Get some of the wall lights in. First Order. Grab some more of these guys and kind of go to town with it. Light it up a little bit. But just know the size of your ships and if it's going to be worthwhile to actually have that going on. Oh, yeah, but I've only used about 2,000 pieces. Most of the pieces that are going to be used right now are going to be used to the on the back for the bridge, and for the bridge, that's going to be tomorrow's stream. But I will give you a hint. It's going to start with that wall down there. This wall, son of a. This wall is what gives us the ability to come up to do the rest of the bridge and do it well. Because we're going to be destroying a couple things tomorrow. This is only just the beginning. So let's get this over here, and this is our horizontal plane. And I have a meeting right now, so I gotta go. I'm the MadPuck66. I stream every day from 8:30 a.m. till 10 a.m. when I have to run off to work, which is right now, and I have a meeting that I have to get to. So